had severe jaundice secondary to his 6PD deficiency, which required exchange transfusion during the first week of life. So his issue for hematology was he had his leukocytosis, which is total white about 49, and thrombocytopenia platelet 71 since day one of life, and only noted hepatosplenomegaly at the end of the first week of life. So full blood picture at day 2 of life was then only showed increased retic response with presence of blood cells and irregularly contracted cells. So despite he recovered from his terminal period at discharge date about 1 month plus, actually his leukocytosis and thrombocytopenia still persist, and as well as hepatosplenomegaly. His total white was ranging 27 to 30, and thrombocytopenia around 70 to 140. So he did not require regular or transfusion of platelet. So he was then follow up at clinic as well as daycare, and at 2 months of life he was readmitted as noted failure to thrive due to poor feeding. He was actually discharged with rice tube feeding. However, upon discharge and at home, this is young parents, first child, the mom off the rice tube and give bottle feed, which is poorly fed. So he is the only child in the family. At this point of time, his leukocytosis still persists, about 30, HB about 9.8, but that time is already 219, so which is resolved. So this is the FTP done during follow-up, and at this time, upon admission for failure to thrive, we decided to do the bone marrow examination. Actually, we already counseled mom to do the bone marrow since first referred to us. However, we waited for the week to come up. So his DMAT showed monocytosis with presence of 4.2% blast and 13.8% hematogon. Cytogenetic had no abnormality, and PCR able was negative. So his examination currently he is pink alert. Other examination was remarkable. He still had liver and spleen about 3 centimeter below costal margin, and due to PMA findings for possibility JMML, we discussed this case with Prof. Niemeyer, and we just did the bone marrow and sent all these samples on 27 April. So we would like to review and discuss the bone marrow examination as well as the full blood picture.
Two marrows, eh?
Okay.
We have 2 marrows done on.
Yes, we have 2 marrows done, which is on the 2nd March and 27 April.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Nurima, presenting for Dylan Ong. Okay, let me share my screen. Can see my slide?
Yes.
Okay, as for today's discussion, we will start with Dylan Ong. So this is the first full blood picture we received for Dylan Ong at day 1 of life. So at that time, the hemoglobin still within normal range for the age. There is a leukocytosis with predominantly neutrophils and monocyte. There is a thrombocytopenia with platelet count of 71. Reticulocyte percentage is 9.6%. So in the full blood picture, we see there's many NRBC with polychromatic cells, the bit blue color cells, with occasional irregularly contracted cell here. Okay, and there's a mild left shift noted. I'm not sure whether it's in this. Okay, so in view of this patient having underlying G6PD deficiency with high retic response, and there is a presence of white cell and irregularly contracted cells. So ongoing oxidative hemolysis need to be examined. So and there is a presence of leukoerythroblastic picture with thrombocytopenia. So at this point of time, we asked to rule out any underlying infection.
Norima or the others, from your experience, from my training before, hemolysis usually or B6PD are presented jaundice after day 5 of life. Day one itself can have that. But you contributed the hemolysis, the features to some extent because of B6PD hemolysis, right? By cells.
But in the picture we can see this bite cells, this one also bite cell. So with the presence of morphological evidence of oxidative hemolysis, so it's possible the hemolysis because of the underlying oxidative hemolysis, but there is a maybe there is aggravating by any underlying infection that usually can cause can cause the patient having oxidative hemolysis at this time.
And the confounded of infections as I stressed it earlier. Okay. And how about monocyte? I think the platelets across the age is the same. Monocyte, it says there's a certain age that you expect some amount of monocyte and change over the age.
Usually monocyte macam as this baby kan at day 1 of life, the monocyte count is quite high, 13.9. Usually if there is no infection, there is no any abnormal no hematological causes, usually the monocyte and the counts will be normal.
How much monocyte normal?
As for the age, absolute monocyte will be around up to 2.
Oh, that's high.
Tapi for this baby 13.9 is quite high, but at this point of time, if usually if there is only one occasion there is a monocyte is increased, so usually it caused by infection or ni lah. But if persistent, there usually maybe there is another causes from the infection. Okay, so this the repeated one, the FBP sent at 1 month old. This time around the HB is reduced compared to the day 1 of life. So HB is moderate anemia. The MCV, MCH is low for age. Still leukocytosis, WBC count is 38.8 with neutrophilia, lymphocytosis and monocytosis. At this time around, the platelet count is borderline at lower limit of normal for age. And the retic count is mildly raised, 0.1 absolute count. So in this picture, there is a dimorphic picture of RBC. We can see there is a nomochromic nomocytic with background hypochromic microcytic cells. There is a polychromasia noted here, and also few NRBC here. And in this picture also, we still can see there is a bite cell here, bite cell. Okay, and bite cell also, and also irregularly contracted cell here. So in this picture also, there is still present LE picture with blast cell, occasional blast cells, blast cell present. So
Sorry, at this 1 month there's about blast cell. You said there's about 3% blast cell.
3% blast cell.
Day 1 tu tak ada lah.
Day 1 tu tak ada, memang ada live shift tapi tak ada blast cell lah. So this sample was taken after transfusion. So this is post that's why there's a dimorphic picture of the RBC with presence of bite cell, and we still cannot say there is a oxidative hemolysis cannot be excluded lah still at this time of view. Okay.
Nena, remind again, 1 month patient yang presented very kakek not kakek lah. Loss of weight tu berapa bulan? 1 month describe.
2 bulan. 1 month tu dia 1
Wah,
month
okay
dia
ke?
baru discharge.
Masa dekat ward kan?
Dia baru je discharge daripada ward. Yang
Baru
kita
discharge
tengok tu
daripada
2
ward.
month. 2 month tu memang weight dia drop. Memang kakek.
Super weight gain lah. I remember this child, I've never been toxic. Doesn't
Yeah.
be septic at all with the review.
Any drug, any possible drug that can cause the oxidative hemolysis?
I think antibiotic.
Dia on supplement dia masa discharge. Folate dengan I think maltopher lah.
So mother is not taking any outside drugs kan?
So far as mentioned tak ada lah.
Dekat indikanya tak ada.
Yeah.
But as for this age, the absolute monocyte should be less than 1%. But this patient, bukan 1%. Absolute monocyte should be less than 1, but this patient, the monocyte count is 8. Still much higher compared to the normal range for the age. Okay. So with this picture in the full blood picture, when there is a blast count and we want to know what is the blast, whether it is myeloblast or lymphoblast. So that's why we take the sample from peripheral blood sample. We do peripheral blood immunophenotyping. So from the peripheral blood immunophenotyping, we can see there is a population in the red. There is a population of blast population at the CD45 gene with positive CD34. However, it's negative for B marker, which is CD19, and CD79 alpha are negative, and T marker also negative. Cyto-CD3 and surface CD3 are negative. The MPO is still is negative. However, myeloblast can negative force MPO. So at this point of time, we conclude the blast at the peripheral blood is actually the myeloblast. There is a 3.8% circulating myeloblast. However, we didn't proceed with further marker for the myeloid panel because there is only 3%. If we had suggest in the peripheral blood IPT, if the condition persistent, we advise for further investigation for marrow lah. So this is a full blood picture taken during bone marrow procedure at 2 months plus old. Still, the baby had moderate anemia with hypochromic microcytic red cell indices, leukocytosis with neutrophilia, and monocytosis. Monocyte is 6.7. Platelet thrombocytopenia 95. Okay, we still can see there is a dimorphic picture. There is a presence of pneumochromic pneumocytic RBC with background hypochromic microcytic cells. There is a few polychromasia and NRBC. In this picture, because there is persistent monocytosis, we look through of the morphology of the monocyte. So some monocyte exhibit granular cytoplasm with irregular and some had irregular nuclear outline like this in this green circle. Usually normal monocyte will display like kidney shaped nucleus, but however in this monocyte appear dysplastic neutrophil like macam donut, and this one lah nak jadi macam neutrophil segmentation of the nucleus. Okay, so in the next slide also we can still see there is a granular cytoplasm of monocyte, and it's a bit dysplastic. it's a bit irregular of the nuclear shape of the monocyte. So from this, there is a bicytopenia with leukoerythroblastic picture with still there is a 3% blast cell with persistent monocytosis. Underlying JMML need to be excluded lah. You want to rule out JMML. Okay. So this is bone marrow biopsy for the patient. This is from the right side. The right side was taken from the PSIS. Okay, so the fragments shows normal cellular for age. Okay, and the trail is cellular, but still it's not hyper, but still cellular. Okay. However, in the cell trail, we can see when we did the count is still the erythropoiesis is still adequate with displaying normoblastic maturation. Okay. And the granulopoiesis is adequate with all stages of maturation seen. These are the granulocytic series, is myelocyte, metamyelocyte, and predominant this is metamyelocyte. Okay. Blast is about 7% on the right side, and there is also a monolevated megakaryocyte seen. Okay, the lymphopoiesis is adequate, however, displaying heterogeneous in size and nuclear maturity. Okay, so that is possible in the babies. They still have why there is a bit heterogeneous of the lymphocyte. Possible because of hematogens. Then we will see in the immunophenotyping later. This is another view. This is the blast cells. Some blasts there is a prominent nucleoli, and some blasts not. It's inconspicuous nucleoli. Okay. Here there is a few neutrophils shows hypogranular. Okay. These are the monocyte that we can capture in the bone marrow aspirate. They are dysplastic megakaryocyte seen. Some shows hypolobated mega, monolobated form here also, and this is a separated nuclei. Okay. The pulse stain from the right side shows absent iron store, however, no ring sideroblast was noted. On the left, bone marrow aspirate. This is from the tibia. It shows a normal cellular fragment for age with a cellular cell trail. Same picture we can see from the left BMA. There is a hypolobated megakaryocyte. This is young mega with hypolobated nuclei, monolobated megakaryocyte. And these are the blasts, and this is hyposegmented neutrophil. And in between, we can see there's still granulocytic series. This myelocyte, and this promyelocyte, and these are the neutrophils. Okay. The lymphopoiesis is adequate here with heterogeneous nuclear maturity. Here I want to show this plastic monolobated megakaryocyte that you can see in the smear.
So monolevated is something distinct for JMML, or is it dysplastic or?
In JMML, there's the dysplastic picture is not really it's not a must. However, they can present in the JMML.
But the megakaryocyte is considered reduced, isn't it? You think it's reduced?
Megakaryocyte is adequate.
Adequate lah.
It's not reduced. The pulse stain on the left side also shows absent iron store, but no ring sideroblast was noted. So at this time of point of view, the by right and left bone marrow aspirate show normal cellular for age, correlating with the peripheral monocytosis, with hepatosplenomegaly, with the blast count is not more than, and as for this patient, the blast count is 6 to 7% in the bone marrow aspirate. So underlying JMML cannot be excluded. So we suggest to do hemoglobin F quantification and to send sample for KRAS or NRAS mutation. Okay, so as for the HPF quantification, is still pending. I just traced from HKL, they want to run tomorrow.
So you expect fetal hemoglobin will be high, and
If
And-
JMML, yeah, we can see there is an increase in HPF percentage. In the
ada
sample.
KRAS dengan NRAS tu nak hantar mana?
Dan
Here,
tetap Prof Email je.
Yang ni hantar
ada yang
Yeah.
lah. Okay.
Okay, from the sample, bone marrow sample sent on 28 February, as we can see, this is acute leukemia orientation tube. So we can see there is a two population of that we can identify at CD34 positive cells. One at the red population with moderate side scatter, CD34 positive with moderate side scatter. The other one is CD34 positive with low side scatter. So the red population representing the myeloblast, I will show in the next slide. And the purple population representing the CD19 positive, CD34 positive cells. Okay. So from here we can see there is a 3.2% CD45D, the red population, CD45D, moderate size scatter, CD34 positive, but CD19 was negative. And the other population is the purple population, 0.5% CD45D, low size scatter, CD19 positive, and CD34 positive. This is further panel for acute myeloid panel. So here we can see there is from this tube we can identify there is a myeloblast population. There is a 3.2% myeloblast population, CD45 team, CD34 positive, CD117 positive. HLA-DR is positive, however negative for monocytic marker CD64, 35, and 300E and 14. So there is another population, about 1% in the light mean color. CD45 intermediate, a bit moderate to high side scatter. CD34 is negative, CD117 is negative. HLA-DR is positive, 117 is negative. Is expressed CD64 and also negative CD300 and CD14. So this is representing the promonocyte population, the light mean color. And there's another population, 15%, which is in the blue color here. It's a mature monocyte. So this is monocytic region. So this population are negative for CD34, CD117, and but positive expressing HLA-DR, CD64, 35, and 14, and also 300E. So this is a mature monocyte. Okay. Okay, for this patient, because from the morphology, we can see there is a the blast is about 6 to 7%. However, when we did the acute leukemia orientation tube, there is only 3.3% of myeloblast and 1% of promonocyte. So it's about 4% of blast. So we proceed with the hematogon's tube, which is our B acute leukemia tube 1, all tube 1. So from here, we can see there is a population which is in the red, CD34 positive in the red. This population is CD34 positive hematogons. So why we say this is CD34 positive hematogons, because CD34 is negative and CD19 is positive, CD10 is positive. Here CD10 is positive. However, it doesn't express any marker. It's expressing the normal marker for hematogons. Okay, the CD58 is negative, CD66C is negative, and CD38 is positive. This is showing the normal marker for hematogons. And the other population, the CD34 negative hematogons, which is in the blue color. Yeah, the difference from the other red population is the expression of CD34 lah. So this patient had 13.3% CD34 negative hematogons, and the other population is the pink color, as 11% of mature B lymphocyte. Okay. In the tube 2, we just want to know more about the CD34. There's expressing the expression of TDT, the CD34 positive expressing TDT, however, and CD99. Okay. And the pink color is is our mature B lymphocyte, so it will express kappa and lambda so nicely. Okay. So we go for the refined biopsy for this patient. On the right side, we receive fragmented bony trabeculae, only about 3 to 4 intertrabeculae spaces with marrow tissue here, here, and the other spaces are this is empty spaces, so it's a bit inadequate. It's a bit suboptimal for proper diagnostic interpretation. However, I still did the immunohistostaining to see the presence of we want to assess the blast and also the other lineage marker. Okay, from here, showing a normal cellular marrow for age, and the erythropoiesis is we can see scattered throughout the marrow spaces in between. What striking here is actually the megakaryocyte. The megakaryocyte, some are displaying this plastic feature, monolobated form, and also this one hypolobated megakaryocyte, monolobated megakaryocyte. Okay, but no excess of the blast are scattered, only scattered seen. Okay, here also shows monolobated megakaryocyte. Okay, scattered blast cell seen. Okay. So we will see the immunohistostaining after this. So I did staining for megakaryocyte CD61, showing monolobated megakaryocyte. Here. Okay. The myeloperoxidase to show the granulocytic series. You can see the granulocytic series are a bit appear increase here. The CD64 and is for the blast to see the blast in the trifine. So we can see there is a scattered positivity for CD34 here. But we have to bear in mind the CD34 positive cells. It can be myeloblasts or the CD34 positive hematogones. However, the CD117 only very scattered positive. Okay. The TDT, this one is to see the is positive for B lymphoblasts, but however in this patient it's positive for CD34 positive hematogones. Okay. As for CD10 appear a bit increased because it will positive in CD34 positive hematogones, CD34 negative hematogones, and granulocytic series also pick up the CD10. So that's why we see a bit the CD10 is increased compared to the TDT. The reticulin stain is not increased. Grade 0 to 1. Okay, as for the left refined biopsy, we receive cartilage and subchondral area and fibromuscular tissue. So this is inadequate for proper diagnostic interpretation. Okay. So as for the trifine biopsy, as for proper diagnostic interpretation, it's a bit difficult to be gained from the trifine biopsy. However, we still can see there is a dysplastic features in the megakaryocyte. So we actually refer back to the bone marrow aspirate and IPT findings. Okay. This patient also had sent IPT for double negative T cell analysis. However, the double negative T cell population are within acceptable range, which is do not support the diagnosis of LPS. And the molecular for BCR-ABL mutation is negative. Yes, HBF is pending. Okay. So,
Tanya, sorry, kalau HBF tu kan, dia increase for age, for less than 6 months, kita ada cut point atau normal value ke?
kita ada actually we had refer ada one journal. Memang kita ada HBF quantification according to age. So bila kita interpret HB analysis, we will actually memang refer kepada itulah journal tu.
Because it's less than 6 months kan?
Kalau macam untuk patient ni 6 months 6 months, so it's actually the normal 5 to 8 months. The normal HBF will be 3 to 15%.
5 to 8 months, 3 to 15%. If it's more than that, it's considered increase lah.
5 to 8 months, 3 to 15%. So if let's say kalau we get more than that, it suggests it actually BF is increased lah. So kalau kita tengok dekat clinical and lab diagnosis for JMML. So as for this patient, kalau ikutkan ni dia ada bahagi kepada tiga kategori, tiga kategori kan. So as for clinical and hematological features, so this patient actually fulfill yang the first ni first apa?
All 4 batches mandatory lah. Mandatory
mandatory tu memang dia dah fulfill keempat-empat tu.
Okay.
Tapi as for the second
Waiting.
oncogenetic cytogenetic ni, oncogenetic study, like for mutation KRAS, KRAS, so yang ni dia require satu je. So if let's say kalau dia positive for KRAS and RAS atau PTPN11 ni, actually dia dah boleh diagnose dah. And the other group, the third group, only kalau dia kata only for those patient without any oncogenic parameter beside the clinical hematological feature listed under 1, at least 2 following of the criteria must be fulfilled. So as this patient dia dah ada myeloid precursor on the peripheral blood smear, tapi HbF dia pending lagi lah. So if let's say kalau HbF dia more than 15%, so it actually fulfill the
don't have to wait for molecular. So if have HbF increase, you already have myeloid precursors, right? So it's just waiting for HbF. So if positive is significant, then already fulfill the criteria. We don't no need to wait for the genetic.
But if let's say kalau dia punya mutation tu dah positif, no, yang the third group ni is not okay lah, tak payah nak fulfill. Sebab saya ingat ada satu case sebelum ni, adik Nukman, dia punya HbF normal, tapi dia positif for this one KRAS mutation.
Positive for KRAS.
So I think untuk as for this case, untuk yang ada side repeat marrow, actually we haven't reported yet, but apa yang kita boleh prelimkan, the finding is more or less sama macam yang the first marrow. There's still the peripheral blood still monocytosis and neutrophilia, and there is still blast in the peripheral blood.
Liana, do you know how long will it take to get these mutations?
Sure, and usually within 2 weeks or I think within 2 weeks.
Within 2 weeks?
I kena check balik dulu because dia kena sampai kat sana, dia process, then they will inform.
I think the patient is very asymptomatic.
Yeah.
Of the blood product replacement or requirement, but the parents is overly anxious and very stressed. So,
it's first baby kan?
Yeah,
first baby, and I think it's quite some time they married before get this baby.
Yes, precious baby.
That's why they are very anxious to know, and because I think we confirmed this HbF is high. It was confirmed. I don't know whether the patient, the Ida will pursue the transplant lah, kan? The Ida. Tidak ada tadi kan? Tidak tim. Okay, so we just wait for that, and meanwhile.
So the HbF, I asked HKL, they said that tomorrow they will run the sample.
Boleh dapat lah.
So nanti I akan update dekat Liana lah kalau macam tu.
Boleh.
So tidak kalau positif refer PMT lah untuk consult while waiting for mutations. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, cytogenetic. Eva, can we start our Google Meet using the second link that I sent, because it will finish around 5 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, the Zoom kita ada share link di situ ya.
Ada.